Welcome back to another Helldivers 2 video. In this video, I will be going over 40 tips to help improve your gameplay in Helldivers 2. Tip number 1. Let 'em burn, baby! Flamethrowers, napalm, or anything fire related works so well against the bugs. Call one of those napalms like it's 1969, boys, and give 'em hell.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Smells like victory.
Tip number 2. Fighting the automatons. Using orbital lasers, eagle airstrikes, railguns, rockets, mortars, anything in that category is the best effective against them. Tip number 3. Call in your support weapons. So when you first start the mission off in Helldivers 2, when you land with your Hell pod, call in your LMGs, your jump packs, anything in that category, so then you are prepared to fight anything that is coming your way. And then also, later in the fight, you'll be able to call that stuff in quicker than normal. Tip number 4. Friendly fire. Yes, there is friendly fire in Helldivers 2, so be careful when shooting, calling in airstrikes, or even throwing grenades. I can't tell you how many times I've killed teammates or I was killed by teammates from lack of communication, not knowing that at the beginning of the game that there was friendly fire on. Now, don't get me wrong, everybody loves a good troll, so if you want to, joke around with your friends and have a good laugh, absolutely go for it. Tip number 5. Don't panic. In the top right corner of your screen, you have a mission timer. Once that mission timer hits 0, don't panic at all. You have nothing to worry about. An emergency extraction will be automatically called into the map. Just head on over and leave like normal, and you're all good to go. Tip number 6. Dolphin diving. Yes, you need a dolphin dive a lot in this game, especially when the difficulty gets higher. I've noticed when dodging chargers, it is so much easier to just dolphin dive out of the way and shoot them in the back with my rocket launcher, or even against automatons, just getting out of there quickly as possible. You can also dolphin dive backwards and while you're still firing your gun to get it, maybe even get a good kill. So dolphin dive as much as you can. You will extend your life. Tip number 7. Reinforced pods. Have your teammate throw a reinforced pod near a charger to instantly kill it, or any other big enemy in the game that you're struggling to kill. It's one of my favorite ways to get kills in this game. It's such a satisfactory to it. Tip number 8. Awareness. Be aware of your surroundings. I don't know how many times I died from mines, poison mines, or even get launched in air from smoke pods on the ground. Be careful at all times. There may be even an enemy around the corner. Tip number 9. Using stratagems. While using stratagems in this game, you got to coordinate with your team. You don't want to get friendly fire, airstrike kills, or even use too many stratagems at once to cripple yourself in a fight that will lead to your death. Tip number 10. Spread democracy. Is your team morale low? Or the boys getting pissed off? Don't worry, I got you. Start blasting Freebird solo through the headset, crack a bush latte, start spraying hellfire down on them, bugs and automatons. Start screaming into the Mike Rambo style, and do not give up, do not surrender. You will win for Super Earth. Tip number 11. Holding the reload button down will help you change the fire rates of certain guns, like the LMGs, the SMGs, and much more. You can change firing modes from burst fire to single fire to automatic. You can also turn your lasers and flashlights on and off. Tip number 12. Shooting down dropships. When automatons call in their reinforcement dropships, be sure to use your rocket launchers to shoot the engines before they can release the reinforcements. This will help you a lot while defending and while doing the rescue civilian mission. Tip number 13. Level up quick. So I have a little farm guide that I'm going to post later, but to level up quick in this game, all you have to do is do the defend missions against the bots or the bugs, and just keep farming those missions over and over again. Make sure you have a full group with you to get the most XP possible. While doing that, you will receive a lot of medals on higher difficulties, and vice versa. Do this over and over again, like I said, and you will level up pretty quick. It usually takes about 2 to 3 defend missions to level up. Tip number 14. Daily objectives. Pause the game in the ship to see your daily objectives progress. Tip number 15. Killing chargers. The easiest way to kill chargers is to use an EMP grenade or EMP mortars. While they're stunned, get behind them, shoot a rocket, and blow them to smithereens. Or, go back to the tip earlier I said and use your reinforcement drop pod and instant kill. Tip number 16. Reloading. The only time you should reload when your clip is about to be empty. It will give you a faster reload animation and it may even save your life. Tip number 17, free artillery stratagem. So on the map, there's a deactivated artillery gun. Once you reactivate it and load the shells into it, you will now have a free stratagem to use for the remainder of the mission. Tip number 18, one-handed weapons. While using one-handed weapons like the SMG or a pistol, you will be able to fire with the gun one-handed while running away or even carrying cases. Tip number 19, double pack-a-punch. If you are carrying a heavy weapon, you can also carry a guard dog drone at the same time to help you fight. Tip number 20, dying. Don't be afraid to die a lot in this game. It's going to happen. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just the way it is. So, you're wondering, how am I going to get my guns back? Where's this? Where's my loot? Well, don't worry. All you got to do is look at your mini map and it tells you exactly where you died. You can go pick up all your stuff. Tip number 21, falling back. If you need to fall back to call an air support, make sure you're running backwards. This keeps your Helldiver moving while calling air support, and it gives you a less chance of dying. If you're running forward, it will stop you right in your tracks while calling in airstrikes, and you probably will die. Tip number 22, extracting. While extracting, make sure everybody is ready. Once you enter the extraction shuttle, a countdown will begin, and if people don't make it in time, they will be left behind. Tip number 23, check your dailies. What I mean by that is check your daily objectives. It's an easy way to gain medals and currency in game. Tip number 24, drop items. You can drop items in Helldivers 2 by holding down the weapon wheel keybind. X is on keyboard, and I believe it's the D-pad on PlayStation 5. Tip number 25, playing with others. The more people you play with, the more XP you gain in every mission, so be sure to squad up with as many people as you possibly can. Tip number 26, snowballs. On the snowy maps, you can actually make snowballs and throw them at your friends and enemies to slow them down. It's a fun way to troll your friends and have a good laugh. Tip number 27, patrols. There are enemy patrols around the map. You do not have to engage them. If you do, be prepared because you may even spawn in more reinforcements and give yourself more hell on earth while fighting. Tip number 28, safe landing. So when you are doing higher difficulties and you're getting reinforced in, be sure to land somewhere safe to get prepared to fight again. I had a really hard time learning this the hard way. I would just get right back into the action and die over and over again. So don't be a dummy and make a beginner mistake. Tip number 29, mortar them to death. Okay, so when you are fighting the automatons, the EMP mortars, the regular mortars are your best friends. I am telling you right now, get those unlocked as soon as you possibly can. While defending and killing the one mission, it is so much easier when you have the dropships coming in nonstop, especially while doing the rescue civilian mission. Tip number 30, nades. When enemies or even teammates throw nades near you, you can easily throw them right back at them or at enemies to either troll your friends and get funny kills or kill enemies when in a high stressful situation. Tip number 31, communicating. I can't stress this enough. I should probably put this at number 1. When people have mics and don't communicate in games, it absolutely drives me crazy. Communicating is so huge in Helldivers 2. Using your mic and pings to let your squad know when you're calling in airstrikes or where enemies are is such a crucial key part of the game. Tip number 32, plan your stratagems. So, before going into your next mission, coordinate and communicate, again, communicate with your team about which stratagem you guys want to use to execute the mission the best way possible. Tip number 33, jump pack. While using the jump pack, you can actually reload in midair to help you get the advantage on the enemy. Also, using the jump pack is a great way to get behind enemies like the Charger to blow it to smithereens with a rocket. Tip number 35, in-game credits. So, as you can see, there are microtransactions in this game, but don't worry, Helldivers 2 is not like everybody else. You can actually find hidden containers, vaults, and pods in the game, and it will spawn super credits, and you can get 100 credits or so each time. Tip number 36, stims. Stims can actually refill your stamina bar while you're running away to help you get away quicker and faster. Tip number 37, nade launcher. The grenade launcher in this game is heavily slept on. It is really good against the bugs for sure, and even clearing out small arms of automatons. The grenade launcher is the best way to shoot eggs and clear out bug nests, in my opinion. Instead of running up and throwing grenades, just shoot the grenade launcher from a distance and you will clear it out pretty simple. Tip number 38. Railgun is OP. The railgun is by far one of the best guns in Helldivers 2. The railgun can easily take out armored enemies between 2 to 3 shots every time if they are well placed. Tip number 39. The Breaker Shotty. The Breaker Shotgun is by far the best gun in the game. It shreds bugs and automatons so easily. You gotta use it, in my opinion, while playing on harder difficulties. It gives you the best chance of surviving. Tip number 40, spread freedom, boys. Get that oil, get them bug guts all over you, call in them airstrikes, and just have fun. Have a great time. Helldivers 2 is such a fun game to relax with the boys on a Friday night, during the week, whenever it may be. Have a good time out there. Remember, these tips are just to help you. I'm definitely not telling you what to do. Go out there, use whatever gun you want, whatever airstrikes you want, have fun. Hell, you may even find something that's better than what I just gave you. That's going to wrap up today's video. I hope I was able to share some new tips to help improve your gameplay and experience while playing Helldivers 2. So far, I have been loving this game. I can't stop playing it. I have over 60 some hours already. If I missed any tips, feel free to comment below. Also, let me know what you all think of Helldivers 2 so far. With that being said, it's time to go get some oil, play some Freebird, crack a bush latte, and I'll see you all in the next one.